Oh, wait a minute. Damn it. Fuck. All right, wait a minute. Go ahead and introduce yourself. I gotta turn the fan off real quick. What up, guys?
This is Postman and my co-host B-Rad. Uh, I am sitting on the other side of B-Rad this time, closer to the fire. I'm very warm, starting to sweat.
What's going on, guys? This is B-Rad here, and this is Poor Therapy. Let's see. Tonight we were supposed to have our friend Blake join us, but like about 30, 40 minutes ago, he got sick outside. So I went ahead and sent them home. For one, I don't want to get whatever he has. And for two, obviously him being sick is just not going to go well. So, yeah. So maybe next week he'll join us and we'll see how that goes. But how was your day, Sean?
My day was pretty good. I went to a dog park in Stanley with my lovely dog Freya.
Did you go out to the little Stanley Park? Well, don't look at me. Is that what you went to?
I went. What are you talking about?
The little park where it's got like the little thing around it, and then it's got some stuff.
Talk about Ed Good Park?
Yeah.
No.
Which one did you go to?
We went to the one. Oh, what's that? By the pool.
Oh, Schuler's Park or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, did you have fun?
I did. I played fetch with my dog, and then some family members showed up with my nephew. His baby's 1 year old, and him and Freya were playing. It was real cute.
Yeah. I'm glad you had a good day. I think it's safe for me to do this just because I've seen it on Facebook. Am I allowed to do it? I'm gonna go ahead and do it. All right, anyway, congratulations, Sean. Him, and his missus are, or his wife is having a baby,
Yeah.
and that's gonna be really interesting. I can't wait.
I know you wanna call me at 2 a.m. and be like, "Are you tired, Sean?"
Well, I'm definitely gonna be keeping track and everything, and all the things I've told you, I'm gonna be hitting you with it.
So. You know what? I think it's gonna be a piece of cake. I think you're over dramatic.
I don't know. We'll have to see. Every person takes it differently, so we'll just have to see how you handle it. I will say, me personally, the first 6 to 8 months is the roughest, and that's just me personally. Just because the first 4, the kid has no idea when to go to bed, when to wake up. So like you're working on their schedule.
Yeah.
So that the first 4 is definitely, I would say, the worst. But then after that, it gets a little easier. And then for me, as they get older, it gets a lot better. But congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
But I had a pretty crappy day today. I ain't gonna lie.
Tell me about it.
Well, I woke up, and more than likely it's because I was dehydrated. Because when I'm home, I just drink Pepsi. And it's not very smart of me, I know, but when I'm home, I don't ever feel the need to drink water for some reason. Like, I'm just like, nah, I'd rather drink Pepsi. But when I'm at work or anywhere else, I just drink pure water. So I kind of balance myself out that way, but I guess I didn't drink enough water while I was at work last week, and it kicked my butt today. And plus my sleeping schedule isn't the best, because I'll stay up until 11, 12, go to bed, wake back up at 5:30, put the kids on the bus, or the kid on the bus, and then, I'm up the rest of the day because the other one's up. So I'm only getting like 4.5 hours of sleep every night. I would not recommend it. I think it's catching up to me.
My stepdad is, what is he? Is he 50? He's in his 50s, 55, something like that. And all he drinks is Pepsi.
Really?
Yep. I don't think I've ever seen him drink something else. Oh, maybe like a sweet tea at a restaurant, but other than that, it's Pepsi.
Well, that gives me hope. But
And he's done this for my entire life.
he don't have any health problems.
Not that I know
Okay, because I always thought at the rate I drink Pepsi, because I don't want to say it. All right, I pretty much drink a 2 liter a day. I mean, not nothing to be proud of. Let me just say that, but I don't know. I've gotten to the point to where it just doesn't phase me anymore. Like, you know how like you fight with yourself, like, you know what, I'm just gonna drink water, and then you try to wean yourself off of sodas and stuff. I used to do that all the time, but now I've gotten, I don't know if it's like my willpower is just gone with Pepsi, or just something's changed where I choose Pepsi over anything now. So it's probably a willpower issue. But yeah, so I had a headache until about 5 o'clock, about 4 hours ago.
I drink a lot of Orange Crush. Sugar free though.
That's gross. I don't even know how you drink that stuff.
You drink Pepsi.
Pepsi is way better than Orange Crush. But yeah, I had a headache till about 5 o'clock. I even thought about it. You know what? I might have to cancel this one, because my headache, like, it's one of those heartbeat headaches where you just keep feeling the pounding in your head.
Yeah.
And it would not go away. I took ibuprofen. I drunk a bunch of water, and like I said, finally about 5:30, 6 o'clock, it went away. So I was like, all right, so I'm back to normal now. But didn't get done what I had planned today. What I had planned was I wanted to finish sanding the walls. Didn't get that done because my headache, I just didn't feel like doing it. So pretty let myself down with that. Yeah, it was not a productive day today.
You remember Uncle Woody?
Yeah.
And like all he would drink was beer, like for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I think the only thing he had a cup of coffee in the morning.
So I know his schedule down pat. So he had a cup of coffee in the morning. After about 10 o'clock, he would start drinking beer. He would drink beer all the way up until about 8 o'clock, unless he was out at the VFW or something. And then right before bed, he'd have a glass of milk.
That's right. He would have a glass of milk. Yeah.
And it's weird how I can remember all that. But
beer and milk, man.
Yeah, that was his thing. And then occasionally through the day, he would snack on like hot dogs, crackers, stuff like that. But yeah. Why'd you bring that up?
I just thinking of my stepdad drinking Pepsi all day, and it's like, you know, Uncle Woody kind of had his own version of that.
He had his own schedule. Yeah, but yeah, really kind of let myself down today because I didn't take any notes of anything that was happening. I wasn't on any social medias or anything. So this podcast might be a little bit of a struggle, but that's all right.
You know, we could probably talk about Uncle Woody for an hour.
What about all the stories and everything?
Yeah. You know, I never really like talked one-on-one with him. It was very rarely that me and him were one-on-one. And I think it's because my dad didn't like him. And, but I remember he was the first one to show me like $1,000 bill. It was fake, but it's a $1,000 bill. I don't know if you remember him having that. And then, yeah, I kind of regret not asking him about like his military career and stuff.
What do you want to know?
I mean, I know my grandfather. I mean, they were both in the military. They're both in Vietnam, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And mine was helicopter maintainer.
Okay, that's pretty interesting because Papa Hensley, Big Woody, whatever you want to call him, he actually flew Apaches.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my favorite thing that we would do, and it's weird because I would wait till my favorite thing was when he was drunk. And it's weird because people say that, but when he was drunk, we would sit down in the kitchen table and he would start telling me war stories. And it was the only time he would ever tell me them is when he was drunk. And let's see if I can remember a few. So he flew the Apache helicopters, and he told me about some of his friends. Like one of his friends was a Cherokee Indian, and the military let him bring his headdress to Vietnam. And Papa said that it was this huge feathered hat, and it had like beads and stuff coming down and everything. And he said that him and that guy, I can't remember his name. He moved somewhere up in Baltimore, Maryland. I don't remember his name, but he also told me the first time one of his friends died, and they were landing in the helicopter. They got out and they were running. He said they were running through like this field or whatever to get to another team, and one of his friends stepped on a landmine and it blew up, and it blew his one of his legs off, and then some shrapnel went and cut through his intestines. And then he said that him and another guy ran to him and was just packing dirt and everything and trying to pack his intestines back in. But they said that, or he said that, oh, wait a minute.
We're getting a phone call.
We are getting a call. Jay. Okay. Hello. How you doing? Oh, okay. Well, thank you for calling. Is there anything you want to talk about? So, what promise is that? You're gonna have to refresh my memory. Oh, Blake. So Blake was actually here about 45 minutes ago, and he was gonna go live with us, but then he got sick outside, and I just sent him home. So he's supposed to be joining us next week, and today we made his channels for his Blake's Bible breakdowns. So yeah, so if you want to check that out, there's no videos on it yet. I'm trying to encourage him to just go live and just do his thing. And yeah, so it'd mean a lot to him if you went and followed that. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. All right, well, thank you. All right, you have a good night. All right, how do I end this? All right.
Do you know that person?
That's our number one fan. Thank you.
Okay.
Shit, what was I at? Oh, about Papa's friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, so one of his friends stepped on a landmine, his intestines and everything. Oh yeah, by the way, this might be a little gruesome, guys. His intestines was out. They were trying to pack his intestines in with a bunch of dirt and everything. That dude later died. And I asked him how many people he killed. And for the longest time, he would never tell me. And then there was one night he was really drunk, and we were sitting down at the coffee table or the kitchen, and I was like, Papa, how many people did you kill? And he looked at me and he was like, you really want me to tell you that? And I was like, yeah. And then he was like, honestly, I couldn't tell you. He was like, when we was flying the Apaches, we have guns and stuff on the Apaches. We would go over villages and stuff. I would just hold the fire button down. And he said, I couldn't tell you how many people I killed. And then he got all quiet. And it was probably about 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes after that. I looked at him, and we would have religion talks and stuff. And I was like, "You think you'll go to heaven?" And he looked at me and he was like, "I don't know, honestly. I hope I do." And then, which is the weird thing, because he always talked about how he would never see my graduation, because it was like 2 years before I would graduate high school. And at the time, for some reason, I was excited about graduating. And I'm like, "Are you going to be there for when I graduate?" And he would always look at me and he's like, "No, I won't be here at that time." And I'd be like, "Why?" And then he'd be like, "Well, it's going to be my time. I can just feel it." And rarely, or I don't know how you would call it or whatever, but weirdly enough, he passed away a year before I graduated. And I don't know, it was kind of weird how he knew he wasn't going to make it. So maybe you can sense when you're going to die. Maybe the symptoms of, because he did have intestine cancer. Maybe he sensed the symptoms and, he knew something like that. But yeah. But, I do miss him. There's times where I'll just think like, I wonder if he's proud of me and stuff like that. But yeah, I wish he was alive today to be able to see everything that I've done in life, and my kids and everything. But we'll just have to wait until the next go round or whatever happens after this. But I can't remember all the stories he told me, but there was a bunch of them. Those are the main ones that stuck in my head for some reason. But yeah, so I think he just recently passed away too, like 2 days ago. Or not recently, but his death date or whatever you want to call it was like 2 days ago. But yeah, rest in peace, Papa. There's your shout out, bud.
Was he buried or cremated?
He was buried up in. I don't know if I should give that. It'd be all right. People can find it online. He's buried up in Elkton. But yeah. To many people, he was an asshole. To me, he was. I'd say he was a decent granddad. I really didn't have any problems or anything like that with him. So yeah. You got anything you want to talk about?
I remember this one time after he had painted the front or the back steps. He painted it with I don't know, some cheap paint, and when it rained, it got super slippery. And me and my dad were going somewhere one day, and I slipped on the top step and I fell down. And Uncle Woody was out there and was just laughing his ass off at me. And Dad got so pissed at him. I thought Dad was about to, try to fight him. And luckily we had somewhere to be. We left. But I don't know why this sticks with me.
Yeah. But yeah. The only thing I have written down on my list is about Trump's golden ticket. You know what that is?
No.
So Trump has implemented a new thing for immigration policy, and you can buy a gold card to get through immigration faster to become a citizen of the United States. This gold card cost $5 million. And apparently there's already a waiting list for it. It's 250,000 people already wanting to buy one, which is insane because that's roughly 1.2 trillion and money or whatever. So I mean, right there, that's it's a weird way to go about immigration, but I mean, if you want to make money for your country, it's not a bad go at it. Only thing is I don't know, it just kind of feels weird to buy your way into citizenship, if you get what I mean. Like you don't have to go through the process of regular people. But I mean, I guess
I wouldn't have thought that many people out there had $5 million.
5 million. I know. You would think, but I mean, I guess like you got the rich people, and they're gonna buy it for their family members and stuff. So if you got an extra 5 million laying around, I mean, why not? But yeah, I had that, and then I got a couple TikToks or whatever.
Oh boy.
Let me see if the computer doesn't whack out on me. Yeah, I'm gonna have to invest in another laptop. That or we just use yours.
Maybe by now Scott's got a new one.
No, he doesn't. All right. So I'm all about making Americans healthy, and our foods have way too much bullshit in it. I mean, if you look up other countries' ingredients for Doritos and you look up our ingredients, we got like 50 more ingredients for some reason. And I'm just all for to get all the extra chemicals out. But this is RFK Jr. This is one of the main people I'm pretty excited about, trying to change America. But he's congratulating Steak and Shake. Mm-hmm. I don't know where that's at.
You never had Steak and Shake?
No, I haven't.
It's pretty good.
I don't think there's any around here.
I think there is on the East Coast, but they're more prominent on the West Coast.
Okay, well, this one is Colorado, Florida, Texas, Ohio, and Oklahoma. They're using tallow to cook their fries and meats in, which is a lot healthier than vegetable oil and all the other seed oils.
What is tallow?
Tallow is a fat render. So like fat off of beef, pork, maybe. I'm not sure about pork, but like it's what people used to cook all their foods in. And it's a lot more better for your body because your body can either change it into fat or, you just push it out, hypothetically. It's not like all these like vegetable oils or anything like that. Like it's hard for your body to get rid of certain seed oils. And a lot of times you can have buildups in your intestines and stuff, and that can cause, some health problems down the road.
You want to know something?
What?
Guess what I had to eat today?
McDonald's.
And?
Burger King?
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
That's weird. But yeah, so I'm all for it. Hopefully other companies will do the same thing. And if fast food restaurants around here switch to tallow, I would eat those before I would eat the seed oil things. Let me choose another one. I think I have another one. Oh, this one's pretty interesting. So
President Trump's new policy.
Trump has a new policy. This is a big thing in like cities, mainly California, other sanctuary cities. Looting and stealing from stores This is a pretty interesting take on it. Oh, come on, don't.
See on shoplifting, run it.
Walk into a store, big department store, and just pillage it. And if you happen to be there when they're there, they'll knock the hell out of you and kill you in some cases. And we will immediately stop all of the pillaging and theft. Very simply, if you rob a store, you can fully expect to be shot as you are leaving that store.
Whoa.
Okay. I mean, DeSantis doesn't want to shoot looters. I mean, that is really a bold platform.
You know, for a guy who likes to complain he's overzealously prosecuted, I got to be honest, shooting a shoplifter, pretty.
What do you think about that?
That's pretty aggressive.
That is pretty aggressive. I'm not sure how he came about that. All right, here's another one. So many people don't know this, but we've been sending terrorist groups, Taliban, Hamas in some areas, millions of dollars since 2010, which is kind of crazy.
Who would that have been? Would that have been Obama?
Yes, because he was elected in 2008.
Roman, are you aware that we are sending $40 million
I hear that well.
to the Taliban? Yes, sir. Can you name other instances?
All right. Well, I'm not gonna make people try to read lips, but yeah, this is basically a committee trying to figure out why we're sending $40 million a week to the Taliban. I don't know about you guys, but I would much rather that $40 million, help in some way in America. If it goes to getting homeless off the street or, people mental health or anything really, other than sending it to the Taliban. I just don't get how that even came about. Hopefully they can get down to the bottom of it. But yeah, we've been sending the Taliban since like 2012. So that's kind of crazy. We've been funding the enemy the whole time we were fighting them. What do you have to say about that since you're, ex-military?
That I don't know if it's real.
Oh, it's definitely real.
If it is real, I mean, the only, I guess, excuse I can come up with is that, like, we're paying you to leave us alone. I mean, it's a poor excuse, but I don't know. It's like, hey, I'll pay you to stop being a terrorist.
Well, the way I see it is we're basically paying the terrorists to kill us. I mean, that's the way I see it. Why else would we send $40 million to the Taliban? Especially at the time when we were like actively fighting them in villages and towns and stuff. Oh, this is the gold card. I forgot to save this. Oh, this is what I want to show too. So if you're trying to go, viral and make a lot of money on social media, obviously, I'm not doing what this person's doing. If you're on YouTube or Twitch, you can see this video. So this is a lady. She's a Chinese streamer. Look at all these phones. That is insane. All of them are, I guess, on her. Maybe I don't know how that would work. But I guess she's streaming 500 times, or maybe these are all viewers that she has, and yeah, I don't know. I don't have a bunch of phones to do this with, so we're just doing it the old reliable way of going live and talking to people, and just trying to communicate with people. What are you reading over there?
If we're actually sending money to the Taliban.
Oh, we are.
I don't believe you.
Yeah, well, why not? Ask ChatGPT. Get out your phone and ask it.
Why would I ask ChatGPT?
Because it's in there.
You just going to believe everything ChatGPT tells you?
Well, no, but
someone starts telling you to, like, hey, you should kill your children.
Well, no, I wouldn't do
You'd
that.
probably be like,
But
yes, ChatGPT.
I do listen to a lot of political things. Joe Rogan had it on his podcast. Tucker Carlson had it on his. I'm trying to think of that other podcast. It's kind of political that I watch from time to time. I can't remember it right now. I can't search through my phone because I'm live on TikTok. But yeah, we're definitely paying them. Oh God, I knocked it down.
Why can't we ever talk about good things?
Well, what do you want to talk about?
You know what? One of these podcasts
Just nothing but positive, good stuff.
about the USA.
All right.
Not even one mention of China, unless it's to call them dirty reds.
I mean, all right. Well, there is one thing I wanted to talk about, but I didn't have enough time to research it. So the Microsoft, what do they call it? Moderna chip. Have you seen that? All right. You might have to look it up on your computer because I'm afraid if I try to do it on mine, it's gonna blitz out. But it's a new. Let me go back. It's a new quantum computer chip they made, and it's God, I'm butchering it. Let me remember.
I don't know how you pronounce it. Majorana?
Just butcher it and it'll find it because it just came out. Like they just released it. But the thing is they, from what I've read, they built a chip, but they don't have anything to run it on. So like they don't have the software capable to actually use it. But whenever we're able to actually use it, it's gonna like make everything, like anything you want to know, it can figure out in a second, which is gonna be insane.
How long do you think Terminator happens?
I
think it's gonna be the sex dolls, the real dolls. It's gonna be all them.
I don't know about all that.
Yeah.
What do you think they're gonna? I mean,
I think they're secretly hiding AK-47s in the chest.
No.
Yep.
It's not Austin Powers. I don't know. I just think, technology-wise, especially since you got all these companies making all these quantum chips and everything, I think it's going to go pretty fast because once we're able to effectively use them and use them all the time, I mean, you got to think, like, as soon as they get that, what is it called, Moderna chip or whatever, to actually being able to process stuff, they're going to use that thing nonstop. And then everything from cancer research to anything you can think of, like space travel, space engines, stuff like that, all that is just going to be like instant almost. Because the weird thing is they don't know where it's getting all the information from. So did we talk about how?
So you think this magical chip is just going to start producing answers for space travel?
I think so, yeah. Because they in the last chip that we was talking about, I can't remember what it's called. I'm going brain dead right now.
Google's chip?
Was it Google's chip? I can't remember.
I don't remember.
Well, one of the last chips, they said that they think the chip is getting like information or whatever from like other universes. Like, what does that even mean? Other universes. Like it's getting information from somewhere. They just don't know where it's getting it from. What does that mean? What does that mean to you? If it's just pulling information from somewhere that they have no idea where it's not hooked up to the internet, but it's still able to pull information out of nowhere. Ain't that kind of crazy? And it's a quantum chip. So I don't know. I just think it's interesting. Once we're able to finally use it and everything, things are gonna be popping off. And then I think society-wise, because AI is really gonna start to be implemented. We're gonna have this huge job layoff from pretty much any job that AI can replace. It's going to be worse than this federal job layoff, which, by the way, a judge just gave Trump permission to fire even more people, because there was a case against Trump saying that he wasn't allowed to fire all these federal employees. But then the Supreme Court went and said that he is, because the government is a public job. So therefore, it's not a private sector. You're not in a union. At least I don't think. I'd have to look that up. But yeah, so he got to go ahead from the Supreme Court to fire even more people. So, you know, if you are in a government job, it is unfortunate. But in my opinion, I think we have to trim down the government anyway. Because for the last, since we haven't had a government trim down since, I think, Carter. I could be wrong about that. So last 20, 30 years, the government has only been increasing. And in my opinion, it hasn't been doing well. Things don't seem to be getting any better. So maybe if we, I haven't even been paying attention to this. Maybe if we trim down the government. Oh, my bad. I just read the comments. But yeah, maybe if we trim down the government, things will get a little better. States will have a little more power. They'll be able to implement more things. I don't know. We'll just have to see, because this has never happened before. I gotta stop saying that. Yeah, this has never happened before. I think it's a good thing. If you're working for the government, obviously you don't think it's a good thing. But, you know, just from reading Reddit posts from people that have jobs and stuff, there's a lot of waste. And from a human aspect, I kind of look at it at both ways. Like, yeah, you know, you're a human. You got to take the sympathetic way of looking at it, but you also have to take a way of looking at it as a taxpayer. And if you're not doing anything for a public job, and your job is to benefit the people who pay taxes, you got to go. So, you know, that may hurt some feelings, but that's just my opinion on the situation. What's your opinion, sir? Because you're awfully quiet over there.
I mean, I really hate that, you know, people are going to be out of the job and whatnot, but I don't know. It's just kind of like boo-hoo, I guess. I just hope it's, you know, kind of fair and just, like people that are losing their jobs.
Well, all the people that are losing their jobs, they're getting a severance pay, which is they're getting paid, I think I read, for the next 8 months. And they get 60% of whatever they made. So, I mean, they're good for the next 8 months. I mean, yeah, you're going to have to be doing some applications and whatnot. But, you know, it's not all bad. And if you have the certificates or degrees that landed you that government job, it shouldn't be hard to find another job. May not be the job you want, but just like regular people, you do what you can and you make it work. Yeah, there's that. Do you want to bring up that Reddit post?
What Reddit post?
I sent you a Reddit post on Discord. And we're going to talk about being in this person's perspective. And I'm going to shorten it. I read a little bit of it. So basically, this person is getting a bunch of backlash because he started going on dates with a, how old does it say she is? All right, so this is a 27 male, single, hooked up with a buddy's family member that is, what,
28.
28, just got divorced, and she found out that she's 4 months pregnant. And everything was going good until he found out that she's pregnant. And she's obviously pregnant by her ex-husband. Do you think you could deal with that? And to give more to the story, all his coworkers are giving him the cold shoulder and is upset that he pretty much told this girl that, since she's pregnant, he doesn't feel comfortable getting into a relationship with her and basically dealing with, somebody else's kid and everything. My opinion is, if you can't do it, you can't do it. I mean, it's simple as that. Like, if you can't accept somebody else's child and be a step parent, that's just how things is. I wouldn't give the dude the cold shoulder. That's just a circumstance that the female is just going to have to take into consideration when she goes and looks for other dates and whatnot. I definitely wouldn't have waited until the second or third date to tell him like she did. I would have let that out on the first one. But,
Yeah, no, I'm definitely on the guy's side here. Because it's like they're making him out to be like such a bad.
Yeah, they're making him to be the bad guy, which I'm trying to like put myself in those shoes. Like, what if, hypothetically, my woman was pregnant before we got together? It's different though because I actually love my woman, so it's kind of hard to put yourself in the same situation. But you got to think, like, he's not in love with this woman. They've only been on 2 dates.
Yeah, he has no real attachment.
Yeah, there's no real attachment.
But yet everybody's making him feel like a shitty guy because it's like, oh, you're not going to take care of someone else's kid.
Yeah. So, yeah, dude, don't feel bad about it. Obviously, the guy that set you up with this girl is going to feel bad and might give you the cold shoulder just because he's family with the person. Yeah, just move on. If your work friends want to get mad about that, obviously they're work friends. They're not actually real friends. So just move on, ignore them, or you can find another job if you want. But yeah, I mean, it does just go to show you that there are many different things in life that happens. I don't have anything else other than that. That's all I could find.
I'm not gonna lie, all I can think about is how hot I am.
Yeah, so Sean's right beside the fireplace. The fireplace is right behind him. And the way I set these tables up was for 3 of us. And like I said, Blake got sick and had to go home. So Sean's cooking right now. So maybe next time, instead of having the wood stove on, I'll just keep it off. I won't start it.
All of my cracks are sweaty.
You do look pretty sweaty over there. Hey, I told you come over on this side.
Yeah, I know.
But I mean, sweating is a good thing. So sweating, you're burning body fat. I read you're doing. It does something to like your nervous system. It like strengthens your immune system and everything. So you may not like it, but it's benefiting you. So just try to keep that in mind. The positive of it.
You
Detoxing your pores.
You could pass as a liberal.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't even, out of all the stuff I read, I've never really dived into what a liberal is.
Who knows anymore?
Yeah, because it's always changing. Like something gets added to this. If you're a Democrat, it's always changing. For me, I just look at the decent, positive things in it, and I just take from that. I don't really classify myself as a political person, even though I do read a lot of political stuff. I just try to which this brings me back. I had to take a break from Facebook. I was getting too political. I was sharing way too many political stuff, and I was arguing with people in the comments. And after about 5 political fights, I was like sitting there thinking, I was like, what am I doing? Like, and I was like, all right. I was like, I'm obviously getting too into this if I'm sitting here arguing with people in comments and everything. So I was like, I gotta take a little break. So I haven't been on Facebook since when was the last time I posted? I think it was Tuesday. Might have been Tuesday. But yeah, so I was getting too political, so I had to step back a little bit, and I'm gonna take a little bit of break from all that. I just don't want to be arguing all the time on Facebook with people.
It sounds like a huge waste of time.
Yeah, it is. It is. And like I said, after like the 5th time it happened, I was like, what am I doing? Like this is pointless. I'm just bickering back and forth with people on their opinions. So I took a little break from it. Let's see, what else could we talk about? Trying to think here. I apologize, people. Today was kind of a rush and everything, so I didn't have time to really look into anything, and I wasn't on TikTok at all. I did make one TikTok video about me trying to start my garden and stuff, because I'm trying to put out at least one video a day just to try to keep the flow and the momentum, or whatever you want to call it. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I can talk about something. Did you watch the podcast thing with me and Blake?
No, I didn't.
All right. So for Carmen's birthday, I was the designated driver, so I couldn't drink at all.
Okay.
And we went to a bar.
Okay.
And it was one of these bars that it's like, it's got booths and everything, but also has like a DJ and a dance floor and everything. And I was completely sober, so we could drive back because it's in Waynesboro. I'm just gonna say it. Screw it.
Okay.
We went there. Everybody that we was with was drinking. I was the only sober one. And I couldn't, for the life of me, I couldn't mesh in with anybody. So like I have all these drunk people drinking around me and everything. Yeah, somebody knows. I couldn't mesh in with anybody. And I was just like sitting most of the time all alone, just watching everybody. And, I played pool. I played a little bit of cornhole, but it was freezing outside. So I didn't like to go outside. And I realized, I am, like, if I'm not drinking, I am very antisocial. And I even, like, I went up to people, shook their hands, and like, I'm Brad, nice to meet you, this and that. But that's where it ended. I couldn't, like, cross whatever barrier that was keeping me from being a social butterfly. I couldn't cross it. And I even like try to force myself to go dance. And, you know, for anybody that actually knows me, I don't dance. Like there's not a dancing bone in my body other than when I'm drunk. Now, if I'm drunk, I can cross that barrier. Whatever that barrier is, I can cross it. Sober, I can't do it. Like I tried to force myself to get up and go dance. And I like something was just like hold me down. It was just like, no, like don't do that. And I was even trying to like pep me up by like saying in my head, like, you know what, Brad, you're not even gonna know it. You don't know anybody here. None of these people know you in your real life. So whatever their opinion is isn't gonna matter. And even after like I was trying to like boost myself up and all that, I still couldn't do it. So yeah, that's something I need to work on. I don't know how to work on it though.
I don't know. I think it's just hard being the sober guy at a bar.
It is very hard. Like, I couldn't tell you how many times I wanted to just leave because when you're sober and you got all these drunk people, and I just kept seeing people, and I was like, dang, this person's lost. This person has no idea what they're doing, no idea what everybody just seemed lost.
I get a kick out of it.
Like, and there was so much drama. Like, everybody was arguing with this person. There was like a bunch of fights. I was right beside two girls that were fighting, and you know, just being right beside them, like you could hear everything they were talking about, and they were basically fighting about a boy from like 6 months ago, from what I gathered. And I was just like I don't know how people do it. Like, I don't know how like you think that's fun. Like, if I was drinking, I would probably say something different. But I was totally sober, in a room with a bunch of drunk people, and it's hard to tell what else people were on. But I just constantly kept seeing like people that to me looked like they were lost, didn't really know what they were doing, didn't really know who they were. Like, they were just like a bunch of lost people, and they were just like bickering back and forth. Like, and all the imploded egos. Like, if you just sit back and just like really watch, it's kind of insane. Like, it almost made me kind of want to go live and just like show these people, because like it was just like, it was a weird like internal moment, I guess you could say, because like I was just, well, Waynesboro is full of crackheads and meth heads, so there's that. There is quite a bit of that. But yeah, it was, I don't know, it's just, I didn't like it at all. And then, you know, the next day I was sitting there telling Carmen everything, and because she got drunk, and then within 2 hours she stayed in the bathroom for like an hour and a half. So, and like everybody else who was with was like out drinking, playing pool, like, you know, she was in the bathroom. And so I was just sitting there, and I was just sitting there just watching people. And every now and then somebody would come up and be like, oh, hey, you know, God, what was that dude's name? Matt. Shout out to Matt. I can't remember what you look like or who you are, but shout out to you if you ever see this. But you know, I had people come up and, you know, introduce themselves and stuff. But yeah, just I don't know, just something about it. I couldn't cross that bridge or whatever that was. And
I wouldn't worry too much about it, man.
Oh, I'm not. But I would much rather either go to my backyard or go down to the river, have like a cookout or something like that, than I would go to the bar. So I don't know what that says about me personally. Yeah, it's just, I don't see the appeal of it. maybe if I was single, didn't have a family, and drunk, I would find something relatable to it, but I didn't. So yeah, there's that.
I'm ready to call it.
You ready to call it?
Yeah.
You sweating over there?
Yeah, I am.
All right. So so it's Facebook, damn it. Or not Facebook, TikTok. All right, so yeah, unfortunately Blake didn't get to join us tonight, but he should be joining us next Thursday at 9:30 p.m. and then we'll go ahead and talk about his life, his struggles and everything, and we'll be able to bounce stuff off him and stuff like that, and we'll have a podcast that way and see how it goes, and hopefully it goes all right. But if you want to talk about a subject, or you need an opinion on something or whatever, you see the little thing down here at the bottom. Just call or text us, and we'll get a hold of you. We'll set up a time for us to talk, and we'll give you some poor therapy. So thanks again for joining us, and we hope you have a good night.
Peace.
Later.